Welcome to the 2024 St. Paul String Quartet Competition virtual interviews. My name is Ray Shows, first violinist of the Artaria String Quartet and founder and administrator of America's only competitive contest exclusively for string quartets. Today, I have the privilege of introducing the TRELLIS String Quartet from Delaware. At least that's where they go to school. So welcome all, and if I'm correct, you are studying with my good friends, the Calidor String Quartet. Is that correct?
Yes.
I have a set of questions here that I think will illuminate who you are to the audience even better. And at the very end, my last question will allow you kind of an open forum if you wanted to say anything more if you'd like to include in that, okay? And we'll start with first, tell the audience your individual names, the instrument you play, and where you go to school.
Okay. Hi, hello. My name is Leo Matsuoka. I play the violin, and currently we all go to school at the University of Delaware, and we are part of the graduate string quartet here.
I'm Priscilla, and I play cello. I'm Dallas. I play violin.
And I'm Zach. I play viola.
Wonderful. So let me start with, we'll start with the cellist. How did you get started and introduced to chamber music?
Well, back in California, Southern California, where I'm from, there was this regional chamber music program called Junior Chamber Music that I started in middle school, and I continued throughout high school. And I was in a pretty serious piano trio. We didn't exactly do competitions, but we stuck together for many years, which is super fun. I'd say that was my introduction to chamber music. And eventually I did a few groups in college, and I started liking quartet and being really challenged by quartet, which is why I wanted to pursue it further.
Zach.
Yeah, I think the earliest memories that I have of really studying chamber music and being in groups was at this this week-long summer Suzuki Institute that I always used to go to in Northern California in August every year. And I think it was in Palo Alto, like on the Stanford campus. And I remember being put in quartets there, and that was like the first time that I really got immersed in chamber music. And then it was always what I looked forward to like every year. So then I started doing more of it like back home as well throughout the year.
Okay, Dallas?
Well, kind of similar to Zach. I went to this summer program called Kinhaven in Vermont when I was quite young, and that was the first experience of chamber music that I ever had, and I really, really loved it. I had some other chamber music groups that I did throughout high school, and it was always something I really loved. And I always wanted to be part of a quartet that a quartet or other chamber group that really stuck together and like grew together over a long period of time, but just never was in the right place at the right time. Where, I mean, I met many other musicians who I vibed with very well, and we had really great experiences together, but we were all always going in separate directions. And so when I heard about this, it was kind of like, wow, I had literally just kind of come to terms with the fact that maybe that would never happen to me, and that was okay. And I could have passing chamber music experiences, and those would be beautiful and wonderful. But then, yeah, this came along, and so I'm really, really grateful for it.
That's beautiful. Leo.
Yeah, I too am from Southern California and did a similar regional program called Chamber Music OC. And one of my main teachers was part of a piano trio. So I think, yeah, from the very beginning of my violin playing, I was like pretty involved in chamber music. Now I always enjoyed the aspect of creating music together and learning from the others. Yeah, so it's always been a part of my life, I think.
So how did the four of you coalesce into a string quartet? Were you friends they put together? Did they just pick a number out of a hat? Did you draw the short straw? Priscilla, what do you want to? How did you guys get together?
So for this program originally accepts pre-formed quartets.
Oh.
But what's interesting about how we came together is we didn't exactly know each other before we got here. I knew Leo because we went to the same high school. And we had worked together in chamber groups before, but I hadn't met Dallas or Zach before. Zach's actually from Canada, and obviously Dallas is from a different part of the country. But basically, I had met Ryan Meehan of the Caldor Quartet in my undergrad. He was actually my chamber coach. He was a visiting quartet coach at my school. And so I started learning quartet pretty seriously under Ryan last year. And when this opening came, they started to look for individuals. I also met the Caldor Quartet at their yearly annual seminar in Delaware.
Right.
My previous quartet at the time visited here. And so I found out through the program through them. And so they recruited me as a cellist. And Dallas studied with Ryan in high school for very briefly. And as for Zach,
yeah, I think I had the most maybe like different connection through them because I knew a viola teacher in Canada that was friends with Estelle in the Caldor Quartet. I think from when they were younger, and so Estelle, I think, had asked her to like try and look for violists that might be interested, and through that sort of connection with the viola teacher in Canada, it sort of, I heard about the program through that, and then it kind of came together kind of rapidly. Yeah.
So what is the origin of your name?
Well, trellis is the structure that people use for gardening and other things to help plants grow. And we all ended up really liking it. We liked the sound of it, and we liked the meaning. We hope that, and we think that music helps people grow, and obviously we're all growing together, and music is helping us grow together, and we hope that the music that we play will help other people grow as well in the same way. And it doesn't hurt that the house that we live in is also covered in vines. So we basically live in a trellis.
I love it. Leo, do you agree with that? Do you agree with everything she just said?
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay, that's fantastic. So how did you select your repertoire? How did you determine the competition repertoire? Who wants to answer that?
I can answer it. Yeah. So I think when we were initially discussing repertoire when we first formed as a quartet, the two things that we ended up settling on, like after talking to each other and then also to our teachers in the Caldor Quartet, were this Haydn Quartet, Opus 33, number 3, and the Ravel Quartet. I think it's fairly ubiquitous to start with Haydn quartets for groups when you're just starting out because it's a good foundation for everything, and you'll always need to know how to play Haydn quartets. And the Ravel Quartet was a really good kind of complementary piece that was something totally different, but then also, you know, like a huge staple in the repertoire. And for us, for this competition, it's things that we've been doing for a long time compared to other things, and things that we enjoy playing. And we think it showcases a lot of different aspects, I think, of our playing and our music making.
Priscilla, what do you think of the compulsory work?
the compulsory work, we actually sat down the other day and listened to it all together. I think since our quartet formed last semester, we've been learning new rehearsal techniques and learning kind of individually how we have to prepare things in order to come together as a group to rehearse more efficiently. And so the compulsory work, it sounds like a challenge. But I think we're gonna have a lot of fun, and the violins are discussing like, because we do switch violins.
Yeah. Now, who's going to play it? Right. Yeah. You rolled right into, Priscilla, you rolled right into my next question, which is, how would you all describe your group's rehearsal style? And let me start with Leo on this. Let's get him on this question first.
Yeah, as Priscilla was just saying, we've been trying a lot of different things, a lot of which originate from our mentors in the Caldor Quartet. They give us a lot of suggestions of even they gave us the book by Andre Roy, the scale book
Yep.
for quartets.
Yeah.
So we've been doing that, and even doing that, we struggle with a little bit at the beginning, especially in terms of how to hear things together and tune things together. But I think coming into this semester, it's gotten a lot better, and I think we're starting to feel a more snowballing feeling of things working out more. It's been really fun trying new techniques. We just started this thing where we mark up our scores on our iPads after listening to a previous recording, and then we'll send it to each other to review the scores, so we can have a bit more of a time efficient and effective rehearsal.
Recording our rehearsals.
Yes, recording our rehearsals as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
We also just started a new thing called the vibe check, where when we start every morning, someone will say vibe check, and then we'll all like rank our mood and energy level either on a scale of 1 to 10 or give it some descriptor, and it's been very fun.
So that's just a beautiful thing. Vibe check. I like that. So Mr. Viola player, I've just forgotten your name. Zach?
Yeah.
Thank you. Tell me your thoughts on your rehearsal style, on the quartet's rehearsal style, since you haven't had a moment to say anything about it.
Yeah. I think that, I think we have a lot of fun in rehearsal, which is really important. Like, I think we have a good blend a lot of the time of being being professional, and I think we're getting better at being concise with our comments too, which is good. But then also like enjoying the process as well, and kind of everything that comes with that. And I think definitely recording ourselves more is proving really effective and like really valuable, because it just gives us such an objective way to kind of see our progress on something, or just instantly know like how we're sounding, what we might need to work on. And then I think something that was really big for me coming into this year that we learned from the Calidors were the importance of individual preparation. So I think for us too, we're still like kind of figuring out the perfect balance of individual versus like in quartet rehearsal on like certain aspects of a piece. But it's very interesting to see how useful it can actually be to, like, if there's something that needs to be looked at, sometimes just really having that like ownership of individual practice and preparation, and then coming into next rehearsal with that sort of like expectation can help everything come together a lot more quickly. Instead of thinking that we always need to do like 100% of everything as a group together. So that's been really like enlightening.